Right. In this session, I will be discussing the types of data, measurement types, data distribution, data normality test, that is Kolmogorov-Smirnov test, and hypothesis testing, type 1, type 2 errors, parametric, non-parametric. After this, we will be starting about, so we will discuss with types of data, and we are taking SPSS software. Now, this is SPS enrollment. I'm taking a small example of students' data, right? In SPS enrollment, we will be having two type of screens. One is a data view, the other one is a variable view. In data view, we have the total data. You can see this is the total data enter into SPSS. It looks like Excel only. And in variable view, we will be having all the variables. So if you have like 10 variables, in this case, I have 9 variables are there, like a student ID, gender, specialization, grades, score, and the teaching methods, 4 type of methods. This is the data for variable view. And in data view, we have the total entry of the respondents data. Total 105 respondent data is collected. Now, I'll start with the main point. So that is the data type. See, the first column, what we have is the name. This everyone knows it. And when we come for data type, we have 3 type of datas. Not 3 type. We have many type of datas. Basically, we will be using 3 type of datas. The one is a string data, numerical data, and a date. These are the 3 important type of data types which we'll be using. The string data is a character data, alphanumeric data. Everything comes under string data. And numeric data, what are the numbers, whatever we want to enter, this all comes under the numeric data. And a date is a date. Apart from this, we can use any other type of data also, right? So this is the first column which you are going to select about string data. And importantly, in SPSS, when we enter data, generally all data will be numeric form only. You can see here all the data, even for gender also I have entered as numeric only. Specialization, all data I have entered as a numeric only. Is it fine, madam? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Right. So this is all data type. When you're coming, we'll be discussing only about 3 type of data. That is all data will be numeric data and date. But generally, whatever data you take here, all the data will be in the form of numeric only. You can see even gender also have entered as 1 and 2. 1 means male, 2 means female. And very important in data analysis for us is measurement types. This is called measurement types. Whenever we have different type of data, we need to decide what is a measurement types. And we have 3 type of measurements. That is a scale data, ordinal data, and nominal data. Scale data is also called as continuous data. Continuous like marks. For example, you can see here GPA score is there. This GPA score is a scale data. And the marks also. Teaching method 1 marks, teaching method 2 marks. And in this way, we have taken all the marks. These all are scale data. And data which is in the order form, like first rank, second rank, third rank, if you're saying, or you're saying about grades, first grade, second grade, third grade, this type of data is called as ordinal data. And the third important method is called as nominal data. If you see gender is a nominal data because we are talking as male and female. So male and female are nominal data. And specializations. Here students have 3 specializations: marketing, finance, and HR. This is a nominal data. But when you're talking about grades, we have A grade, B grade, and C grade. This is ordinal data. And all other marks are scale data. Is it okay, madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So in SPSS, where before we start the analysis and to use any test, These two important things should be taken care. That is what type of data type you are using and what is a measurement type you are using. And measurement type, I already said there are three types of measurement types. They are scale, ordinal, and nominal. So basing on the type of measurement only, different methods can be applicable because the different methods have different formulas and they work basing on the measurement type only. I think till here it is clear, right, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So whenever we enter any data into SPSS, like any data we are entering, and before we start the analysis, we need to take care about what type of data we are entering, data type in this column, and we need to check the measurement types. And measurement type, I said nominal, ordinal, and scale data. Right. Now, once a data is entered, for scale data, we need to discuss about what is a normal distribution. See, scale data, I said like marks. We can have marks from 0 to 100. This is a scale data. And after deciding the measurement type, we need to check what is a data normally distributed or not normally distributed. If the data of a scale is normally distributed, we will be using parametric. And if the data is not normally distributed, we will be using non-parametric method. If the data is distributed, we'll be using parametric method, and the data is not distributed, not uniformly distributed, not normally distributed, it is called as non-parametric methods. So let us check for a GPS score whether the data is normally distributed or not. Even we can check for each individual scale data. We must check before we start the analysis whether data is normally distributed or not normally distributed. Why this is important? Because basing on the data normality only, we will be selecting what type of test can be used. If the data is normally distributed, we will be using parametric test. If the data is not normally distributed, we will be using non-parametric method. Now let us see a small glimpse of what is this normal distribution. In normal distribution, we will be having the mean, median, mode on the center. Means the data is uniformly distributed towards equal sites. Okay. And coming to the important thing, the amount of distribution, what is happening. In this red color, if you see, this is called one standard, which is 68%. The second one is 95% data is distributed. And the third one is 99.7%. I'll discuss what is percentage once we start the normal distribution. Okay. Now, is it able to understand, madam?
Yes, yes, sir.
Right. Now, what I'm doing is once a data type is decided, once a measurement type is identified, before we start selecting any statistical method to do analysis, it is important to see whether the data is normally distributed or not normally distributed. That's what I'm saying. I'm not started any test before starting the test itself. This is a stepwise which we must go. Data type, measurement type, and for scale data only, we need to check whether the data is normally distributed or not normally distributed. Okay, now in SPSS, we have a simple method to see about the distribution. In analyze, we go to descriptives, and in descriptives, we have descriptive again. Here, I want to check the distribution of GPS score. Now, in this GPS score only, I'm checking. We can check mean, okay, standard deviation, minimum, maximum. Continue, and just click here. Here we got the mean and standard deviation. Mean of GPS score is 2.7789. Standard deviation is 0.76. Now, standard deviation actually shows how much dispersion we have, variance we have. Generally, for standard deviation, when we do analysis, we'll see always the standard deviation must be less than 1. If the standard deviation goes more than 1, then we say data is not generally normally distributed. This is the first indication which we understand whether data is normally distributed or not. If you want to explore more and see about the skewness and kurtosis, we can do that also. We can go to analyze, descriptive statistics. In descriptive statistics, we have explore. In explore, we take dependent variable, and you can see statistics. Okay, just a moment. Okay. Here we will be getting all the information, how the data is distributed. We can see the skewness and kurtosis also. So mean, we can see median, variance. About the distribution of the data can be checked up. About a scale data. Is it able to understand, madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. What I'm saying is, once the measurement type is decided, we need to see the distribution. Generally, this standard deviation must be less than 1. Generally, if we go beyond 1, the distribution changes. Now you can see the diagram which I'm showing here. This red color is called as 1 standard deviation. This green color from this point to this point is 2 standard deviation. And this is 3 standard deviation. So if it is 1 standard deviation, 68% of the data is coming in this distribution. If it is 2 standard, it is 95%. If it is 3 standard, it is going to go with 99.7% of the total data is under that particular bell structure. Okay. Now, how to check whether the data is normally distributed in SPSS or not? Can I go ahead, madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm just showing the distribution here. I'm nothing showing extra thing. Just I'm showing how to check the distribution. Now I'm going to show you in analysis part how to check the data, scale data is normally distributed or not. So we must go to analyze. In analyze, explore. In explore, select the variable which you want to do normal distribution. Take that value, and in plots, when you click plots, we have a button here called as normality plot. Normality plot. When you click this button and click continue and click OK, now directly we will be getting the test which is called as test of normality. So I'm checking the normality distribution of a GPS score. Here we'll be having 2 type of tests, madam. Kolmogorov-Smirnov and Shapiro-Wilks. Right?
Okay. Yeah. Yes, sir.
If the significant value, you can see the significant value is less than 0.05, data is not normally distributed. If this Kolmogorov-Smirnov is a test of normality, if it is less than 0.05, then the data is not normally distributed. Okay. Now we have 2 tests here. One is Kolmogorov-Smirnov, the other one is Shapiro-Wilk. If the sample size is 30 and more than 30, then we will be using Kolmogorov-Smirnov. If the sample size is less than 30, then we will be using Shapiro-Wilk. Is it okay, madam?
Yes, sir.
Right. You can see Kolmogorov-Smirnov, the significant value is 0.033. It means the GPS score is not normally distributed. If it is more than 0.05, it must be more than 0.05. Then only the data is normally distributed. But in this case, the data is not normally distributed. Why I'm using Kolmogorov-Smirnov? Because my sample size is 105. So I'm taking Kolmogorov-Smirnov and checking whether the data is normally distributed or not normally distributed. And you can see Shapiro-Wilk is used when the sample size is less, that is 30 or less than 30, we'll be using Shapiro-Wilk's test. And you can see this histogram. This is not in a bell form. Okay, madam.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, this is not in a bell form. So we can easily conclude that the GPS score is not normally distributed, right? Now, we can do for other variable also. For example, I want to do the same thing with the test method 1 marks. Same thing in plots, we'll have normality. Click that one and simply say okay. And you can see the test of normality here. Here, this test of normality, the data is not normally distributed because a significant value, SIG value we call, this is less than 0.05. If it is less than 0.05, data is not normally distributed. And if you see the data, you'll understand this is totally skewed towards right side. Is it fine, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Right. So these are the important things when we enter into SPSS. We need to check what is a type of data, what is a measurement type, and this normal distribution only should be done for scale data. Right? We must not do this normality distribution for ordinal data and nominal data. It only should be checked for scale data. And what is the benefit if we see whether data is normally distributed or not means, if the data is normal distributed, then we can use parametric test. If the data is not normally distributed, then we must use non-parametric methods. Fine, madam?
Yes, sir.
Right. So this is what I'm saying in normal distribution. This is shows skewness, right skewed and left skewed, and kurtosis, height of the peak. So time is very less. We are not going to discuss much about this. Directly we'll discuss about parametric and non-parametric. Can I go ahead, madam? Any doubt you can have, you can ask at this moment.
Yes, dear participants, anyone has any doubt? You can message in the chat box.
Later we'll discuss, I think, later. Okay, ma'am?
Yeah, okay, sir.
Right. Now, what I said is just see the data type, measurement type, and check for scale data only, whether data is normally distributed or not normally distributed. If it is normally distributed, then we use parametric test. If it's not normally distributed, we'll be using non-parametric test. Parametric test assume normal distribution. For non-parametric, there is no assumption of distribution. Parametric test handles only scale data. Non-parametric test will handle even scale data, ordinal data, nominal data, any type of data it can handle. Parametric results can be significantly affected by the outliers. If there is an outlier in the data, that parametric data will be getting affected. But for non-parametric method, we don't have that problem. And parametric have more statistical power, non-parametric not so powerful. That's why when we do analysis, most people uses a t-test, ANOVA, because it is more powerful. That's what have more statistical power than non-parametric methods. And these are the type of tests which will be used for parametric and non-parametric, like a two independent sample t-test, ANOVA, MANOVA. All these things comes under parametric test. For non-parametric, we'll have Mann-Whitney U-test, Wilcoxon sign-rank test, Kruskal-Wallis test, Friedman test, Kolmogorov-Smirnov test, McNemar test. In this all comes under non-parametric methods. Okay, madam?
Yes, sir.
So basing on the data distribution for scale data, we can decide which type of test can be used, whether parametric or non-parametric. Parametric can only handle scale data, and that too data should be distributed. But non-parametric, there's not a problem. It can handle ordinal data, nominal data. It can handle scale data, which is not normally distributed. Outliers are not important. We don't take them into consideration. But why mostly we use t-test than non-parametric method? Many people, when they come, they want t-test, ANOVA. They ask us to do ANOVA. They ask us to do t-test. Then we ask, your data is not having normal distribution. Then why you want? Because their professor want to do. So obviously we do it. But to use parametric test, we have lot of conditions are there. Okay, ma'am. Now you can see this one, type of data and what type of tester should be used. If it is nominal, ordinal, we must use non-parametric test only. If it is scale, you must check whether data is normally distributed. If we say no, then we must use non-parametric. If we say yes, then are the variance of population equal? We must check. Okay, and I'll discuss even variance also. If the variance is not equal, then non-parametric again. If the variance of the population is also equal, then we must use a parametric test. So these are the conditions which we have to handle with parametric tests. Is it okay, madam?
Yes, sir.
Right. Whenever we start with any test, for example, I want to use this GPS score. I want to check, is there any significant difference between gender, male and female, towards a GPS score? So when we start using any type of test, we need to have an hypothesis, and we create a null hypothesis. Generally, what type of null hypothesis we create when the case is that I want to see, is there any significant difference between gender and the GPS score? I create a null hypothesis stating that there is no significant difference between male and female towards a GPS score. So always null hypothesis says there is no significant difference, right, madam?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, when we say any statement null hypothesis, we are going to accept this null hypothesis or reject the null hypothesis. Fine. Now, when we accept or reject, it depends on confidence interval. It depends on confidence interval. It means at what confidence interval you are accepting a null hypothesis, or at what confidence level you are rejecting the null hypothesis. In social science, we take it as 95%. 95% as the confidence interval. Means 95% what I am saying is correct. Means we have how much percentage of risk we have? Only 5%, right? Now this 5% is what? 0.05. 5 means 5 by divided by 100 means 0.05. This 5% is called significance level. So whenever we make a hypothesis, we always state that what is the confidence interval? 95%. Then we say, okay, if it's 95%, it is 5%, that is 0.05 is significance level. And in medical science, they take 99% as confidence interval, because the risk part is only 1%. 1 means 0.01. That is a significance level. Is it okay, madam?
Yes, sir. It's okay.
Yeah, please communicate, madam, so that I can understand that, okay, you are able to understand.
Yes, sir. If there is any problem, I just let you know, sir.
Right. Because I continuously, based on my experience, I'll be going fastly.
Yeah, no problem, sir. We are understanding, sir. We can follow you, sir.
I'm saying about data type, measurement type, and I'm saying about distribution, normal distribution. And when we start to use any test, the first thing what we must do is we must have a null hypothesis. When we have a null hypothesis, we need to accept the null hypothesis or reject the null hypothesis. So this accepting, rejecting depends on the confidence interval. In social science, like management area, we take always 95%. In medical science, when I go for dental college and another college, we do analysis for them at 99%. So risk is 1%, 99%. And 95%, when we say only 5% is a significant level. It means at 5%, we accept the hypothesis or reject the null hypothesis. Right. And generally here we need to discuss about a small thing, madam. That is, yes, type 1 and type 2 errors.
Okay, sir.
Type 1 and type 2 errors means when the null hypothesis is actually true, but we are rejecting.
Yes.
This is type 1 error. We call it alpha. This is the significance level, what I said. Alpha means when I say a statement and I am saying reject it. Okay. So when what is the error I'm doing? Alpha error. So this error should be very less. It should be less than 0.05 per 0.05. So a null hypothesis is true. But if I reject it, what is the probability? What is the chance that you are doing this type 1 error? Means it is 5% only, that is 0.05. But if the null hypothesis is false, but we're accepting it, this is type 2 error. Type 2 error, generally these medical people always looks towards type 2 error only. Social science people, we people generally go with type 1 error, because that's why we always call it alpha value. What is the significance level? I ask means what the null hypothesis you have made, and if it is true, you are saying rejecting. How much is the chance that you are rejecting it? Means I am taking only risk of 5%. Only a risk of 5% we are taking. So in social science, generally we talk about type 1 error only. This is alpha value we will be talking. Okay, then this is the same thing. The rate of type 1 alpha V shows its significant level, and the rate of type 2 error is denoted by beta, which is the power of the test, means 1 minus beta. So these are some of the simple things which you need to understand. What is the null hypothesis you have prepared, and whether you're accepting it or rejecting it. So these are the fundamental things which you have seen, madam.
Yes, sir.
Right. We have discussed about data type, measurement type of 3 types, I said: ordinal, nominal, and scale. If it is scale data only, check whether it is normally distributed or not. We are using Kolmogorov-Smirnov test, and we have found that the GPS score is not normally distributed. But many people, even the data is not normally distributed, they are using parametric test. Parametric test should be only used when it is normally distributed only. So here also we'll do the same thing. We will go to the analysis, and we will see about a different type of tests. Now from here we are starting the different type of tests, madam.
Yes, sir.
With a small, these are very fundamental things what need to be understood when we start the analysis. Right. Now, first we will discuss about all parametric tests we will discuss. After parametric, we will discuss about non-parametric methods. Right. Now, when we start a test, there are one sample test will be there, 2 sample, and more than 2 sample test, madam. One sample test means we'll be using only one sample, only one data will be used. In 2 sample, we'll be having 2 variables. And more than 2, we call multivariate analysis. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, in one sample, the test in parametric, what we'll be using is called one sample t-test. One sample t-test. For example, for GPA score only, I'm assuming the GPA score, the computed score, may be 0.3 or 3 I'm expecting. Right, madam?
Yes, sir.
I want to check whether it is correct or not. I just made a small hypothesis for this. In one sample t-test, I'm having a null hypothesis. The difference between the true mean and the comparison value is equal to 0. It means there is no significant difference between true mean and comparison mean. Here I'm going to use only one sample, that is GPA score, and I'm assuming that the mean score of this GPA is 3. And I want to do the test. Can I do it, madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. We can write it that null hypothesis, there is no significant difference between true mean and comparison value. I'm taking comparison value. I'm expecting it to be 3. But actually, I don't know what is the true mean of this GPA score. In SPS, analysis is very easy. We can simply go to analyze. In the analyze, we have compare means. In compare mean, we have one sample t-test. One sample t-test. Can I go ahead, madam?
Yes, sir. You can go ahead.
Here I'm trying to check one sample t-test with an assumption that this GPS score, the test value is 3. I don't know what is the true value. True value, I am not checked it, but I am simply saying the test value is 3 and I am making a null hypothesis. There is no significant difference between true value and true mean and test value. At alpha is equal to 0.05. Right. Now, this is the test results what we have in SPSS. Okay. In one sample, you can see for GPS score, the true value is how much? 2.77. Right, madam?
Yes, sir.
And the test value is how much we have taken? 3.
Okay, sir.
And I'm having a null hypothesis saying that there is no difference between true mean and test value. This is my hypothesis. True mean is 2.7789 and the test value is 3. And my null hypothesis is there is no significant difference between the true value and the test value. Now, whether we are going to accept or reject depends on the significant value, madam. You must see always this value, which is called significant value. Can you see the value, madam?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is 0.004.
04. Yes.
0.004. Here we make the statement, if the significant value is less than 0.05, we reject the null hypothesis.
Okay, sir.
If the significant value is less than 0.05, we reject the null hypothesis. Means what it means? There is a difference between true value and a test value. True value is 2.77. Test value is 3. Means there is a significant difference between mean value, true mean, and this test value. You can see the hypothesis. If the significant value is less than 0.05, we reject the null hypothesis. Else, we accept the null hypothesis. What is this 0.05? This is a significant value. Because already I said I am taking type 1 error as a base.
Yes, sir.
At 95% confidence interval, my significant value I am assuming as 5%. If the significant value in the test is less than 0.05, we reject the null hypothesis. So in this case, in the output, if you see it, the significant value is 0.004 and which is less than 0.05. So we are rejecting null hypothesis and stating that there is a difference between true mean and test value. So in this way, we can do the one sample t-test. Here we are only using one sample, right? So we call it as one sample t-test. Is it okay, madam?
Yes, sir.
Now, when you come for two sample t-test, we will be using two different samples. For example, I want to check whether there is any difference between gender and GPS score.